Battlefield 5 has had a lot of history with TTK changes, and today is no change to that. Despite the TTK being changed, the community seems to stay a bit one-sided on the way that they would like this game to play, and I can't blame them at this point. The most recent TTK change happening today, December 5th, it's not been great. I wish I could say that I played it for a couple hours and decided that it was much better placed than it was before, but it's not. The most recent changes have caused more issues in the gun balance than I think it solved, and I don't really know where we were supposed to go with this. The most recent changes have made the medic guns anemic, to say the best, at most ranges. And in a game that, if the maps were set like Call of Duty, where 50 yards is the most that you'll ever shoot, that would be okay. But Battlefield 5 features some of the longest engagements we've had in a long time, across wide open fields and big valleys. I mean, just look at Hamada. Hamada is literally marketed as one of the largest Battlefield maps ever created. And now you want us to kill people with 10, 12, 14 bullets over range? The nerf to the FG42 requires 12 shots to kill at ranges. That's over half the mag without missing. Now, I did play through most of the quoted trouble weapons in this patch, and I can't find enjoyment in this. It's not a good change. The things that have managed to make it through this change and still maintain power are going to be the SLRs for the scout class, the sniper rifles, the semi-autos for the assault class, and your pistols. I mean, pistols weren't really reliable over range much anyways. You know, it's not something that anybody expected to be able to hit somebody 100 meters out and get the win with it. So right now, most of the guns feel useless. I mean, I understand that the idea was to make all of the guns feel like that they all could be used, but I don't feel it. The carbines for the medic class are some of the strongest things in the game prior to this, and still are. The sniper rifles are some of the strongest things in the game because it one-shot headshots, and they still do. And the SLRs were 2-taps. They still are. And then the semi-autos for the assault class, still 3 to 4 shots. Nothing's changed. Those were the guns that people use frequently already anyways, except for the medics who wanted to use a Tommy gun or a Suomi or anything of that sort. But most of the medic guns, you're hitting for 8 damage over range. There's really most of the reason not to use it when you have a jungle carbine as your secondary option. I can use a 1911 now after the patch. Not this patch, but the prior patch. I used the 1911 at the same effective range that I can for all of my SMGs. It's got almost no recoil, the hip fire is super reliable, and I don't have to worry about being surprised that it's only doing 8 damage. Actually, it does more damage than most of the SMGs do at this point. I just don't understand whose idea it was to balance it this way. And I love the people at DICE, and I support them, but I don't understand. I don't know why this was something that's now been sprung on us a year into the game when they've already attempted this balance change once when the game first came out, and people already then told them they didn't enjoy it. There are so many issues with the way that these guns are being balanced that I don't foresee why we're balancing them at this point. This game has another 2 years now on the shelves, and the one thing that people were coming back for were the gunplay. Now, even the gunplay as it was before wasn't perfect, but at least it gave you the idea that you were in control of something that was supposed to be strong, I mean, all of the guns were lethal at most ranges if you could control them. Control, of course, being the hardest part for a lot of people, but still, you at least felt like you were doing something. Now, if I'm doing 8 damage with the Sten over 40 meters, I'm not even going to shoot at these people anymore. Like, there's no sense in shooting at them. I'm not going to burn 30 rounds just to have to turn around and go try to find a bipoded LMG or MMG guy halfway up a mountain, or I can run over to an objective and try to grab an ammo box. But it's not going. I'm not encouraged to fight these people. The bullet damage drop off is so high. As a medic, I'm gonna have to stay on an objective or hope that support is constantly giving me ammo to smoke my escape if I'm gonna use an SMG. Or if I'm gonna use the FG-42, me and the medic beside me are both out of luck if someone shows up over 20 meters away. Those both are doing minimal damage at ranges. Then the 1907 is also doing minimal damage over ranges. Now granted, it fires at a significantly faster rate than most of the SMGs and still is more controllable. So at least the damage is worth, the recoil control that you can do now with it. But that's it. I don't see why I would take the 1907 over the 1916. The 1916's got more bullets, kills in less, and is more accurate at all ranges. Like, why would I bother to use these full autos now after this damage change? I don't know. I don't really see a reason to do so. I don't see a reason to use the SMGs at almost any range. Most of them that I would actually use are going to be just because it has 50 bullets and maybe I'll kill a guy at 100 meters. Or if I'm going to use the LMGs, I don't really know where I'm going to use them anymore. The MMGs I have to sit still to use, and they're already doing negligible damage at range. And now the LMGs are doing the same thing with the exception of like the Madsen, which is a 6-shot kill at every range. So I'm basically going to be a Madsen-only support player, a jungle carbine medic player, a Self-Splatter 1916 assault player, or a sniper. This entire patch was marketed around the idea of making the guns more viable, but after playing it, I feel like I've been given even less choices. The game came out with like 6-7 guns for each class, 8 guns maybe on each class, and now I just feel like I have probably 2 on each class that I can reliably say I'd use, and that's disappointing after we just received these weapons for the Pacific and we received these maps that actually played really nice and all this additional content, and I don't know what to do for it now. I don't know why I would want to do anything else with them, and that's disappointing. I know that we've already talked about how, how DICE has talked about that they're looking at some possible additional changes in the upcoming patch that we're supposed to be seeing Wake Island and maybe the community games with. But unless it's a major buff to these damage over distances, I don't know what else it could really do. The damage up close for all the guns seems fine, and yes, if we're talking about not a TTK change, yeah, if you're under 10 meters, the guns all still killed almost the same as it was. But this game, that I've already said, most of the fights are happening at like 30 meters, which for most of the guns, you almost don't have enough bullets for that. The only way I can really see these changes being worth anything is honestly if you remove attrition. Right now, the lack of bullets, even though the bullets keep adding bullets and keep adding bullets and keep adding bullets to the classes, just get rid of it. If I'm a medic, I can at least survive getting hit 1,000 times across Hamada, getting attacked by 1,000 paper cuts. But if I was an assault player, I'm gonna be pissed the first time that I run out into a field and I get pinked for like 3 damage 150 times to burn my 1 med pack. and just to finally get to another objective to be at 8 health because I got paper cut to death by a guy with a Suomi across the map? No, that's not okay. I don't understand why that's where we're taking this on a game that is based around massive battlefields and great battles. Why are we playing with Nerf guns at the moment? I just don't understand where the entire premise for this is. And maybe after 20, 30 hours of playing this, I'll find a groove and I'll really be able to say, hey, okay, this makes sense. But honestly, after 2 hours of playing it, I don't understand. And I can only hope that people who are playing it, who played it for its gunplay, are still going to want to play it. You got us for 2 more years on this title. Don't make the players lose hope in you and ruin your chances on the next game. That would be the worst. I love Battlefield titles, and I really don't want to see them go down like this. I just want what's best for Battlefield, and I don't honestly feel like this patch is it. If you have an opinion on the patch, and you have an idea about how things could get better, or how we could encourage DICE to work to make this better, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinion on things. I'd love to hear your new favorite weapons if you have one, or hear what could be changed to make the weapons that you used to enjoy work again. Obviously, the community isn't going to be extremely happy with this patch, but there will be people who like it. Honestly, it feels like I'm playing Battlefield 1 all over again, but compounded with a irritating attrition model and without any guns to really go back to anymore. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I hope the patch is treating you well, and until next time, guys,